Sam arrives at the invader and Alexis reveals she has to write Spencer's obituary, and she's about to lose it if she has to refer to him in the past one more time. Sam knows how to make her mom smile and says chupacabra, referring to an incident that turned out to be Heather Weber hiding in the Windermere stables when Spencer was little. They begin reflecting on all of Spencer's crazy childhood antics, and Alexis says now they all have our memories. Alexis knows Spencer acting spoiled and shallow as a kid was really him being guarded, and when he grew up, he opened up and was a gift. Alexis reads over her obituary and cries as Sam comforts her mother. At the motel, O'Meal is taken into custody and Anna introduces Jagger to Jordan. Jagger says he goes by John now, as he outgrew that nickname. He also tells them they are interfering in his case, and his agents already warned Jordan to stay out of it. He says neither of them are officers anymore, so Jordan suggests he deputize them. Anna says they were both there when Curtis was shot, so they can't walk away. John explains that Curtis' shooting is just a part of something much, much bigger. John brings them up to speed on what is going on to satisfy them and reveals the rifle used to shoot Curtis was part of a larger catch, stolen from the WSB that have been used in crimes across the country. Anna asks John to bring them in on this and they can work together. John calls his superiors and learns they just blew his best lead, as O'Neal won't talk without full immunity, which his boss won't sign off on. He tells them if he wants to help, tell him if they got anything useful from the dealer. Anna admits they learned something, but they aren't going to just give him that information. She proposes an exchange of information, everything they know for what he knows. Anna says they don't believe Curtis was the target, and it was Sonny who was the target. She says Sonny believes whoever is after him is still trying. She notes if they can relay information to Sonny, he may share information with them. John says Sonny should have been in jail years ago. Anna tells him Sonny is not the same man he knew, but John notes nobody has been able to put Sonny on a leash. Anna says she may be the first. Anna again asks what he says about working together. He says he hopes they have a good lawyer as they are under arrest for interfering in a federal investigation. Nicholas shows up with Ace at Laura's place, having heard about Spencer. Lauren invites him in and explains how Spencer died. Nicholas blames himself because he took Ace. Laura puts Ace down and tells Nicholas that it's good he came home as he needs to be with his family now. Nicholas expected her to slam the door in his face. Laura believes he knows that he never should have taken Ace, and Nicholas does as it led to Spencer's death. Laura tells her son that he is not responsible, Esme is. Nicholas feels he still put Spencer in Esme's crosshairs, and he doesn't know how she can look at him. She says he is her son and she'll always love him, and he did the right thing coming back. Laura realizes he isn't planning on staying. He cries that he will go to prison if he does, and he can't abandon the one son who needs him. Laura lashes out at her son and says if that is the kind of man he is, the kind of father he is, then Ace is better off without him. Nicholas knows that now, and he'll leave Ace with her and Kevin and he'll disappear. Laura says Ace deserves to be with his father, and he needs to face the mistakes he's made and take responsibility for them. He can have a good life with Ace. Nicholas responds by going to prison. Laura advises he has to make this right, to atone, and it's the only way to go back to being the man he was. She begs him to try, they lost Spencer, and she doesn't want to lose him too. He asks how she would feel if he still ran, and she says she'd still love him, but hope he would find the strength to come back to the son he has left. They embrace. Laura calls Dante and tells him to come over as she's here with Nicholas, and he's ready to turn himself in. Dante arrives later and arrests Nicholas. Nicholas says goodbye to Ace before they leave. Nicholas tells his mother that he's doing this for her, Ace, and Spencer. He wants to become someone they can be proud of. Dante cuffs Nicholas and takes him away. Alone in his place, Sonny calls someone and needs to see them right away. On the next General Hospital, Robert orders John to drop the charges. Sonny tells someone that he needs people he can trust. Tracy admits to Martin that she's the reason he and Lucy broke up. Scott tells Lucy that the spark is still there. Dex promises someone that he'll do everything he can to keep them safe. Dante asks Anna and Jordan, who are in jail, to tell him what happened from the beginning. A shocked Brick asks, Sonny is on the phone with his head of security ordering them to find out who tried to take him out. Dante and Sam arrive, and Sam hugs Sonny and can't believe Spencer is gone. Dante says Spencer was one of a kind. Sonny asks how Alexis is holding up. Sam says she's diving into work as usual. Sunny says Trina is a wreck and Ava is with her now. Dante asks about the family vacation on the island, and Sunny says it had its moments. Sam decides to check on her mom and will see Dante at home. Alone, Dante asks Sunny what is going on. Sunny just can't believe Spencer is gone. Dante thinks there is something else going on as he has extra security. Sunny admits someone almost took him out on the island. Dante wants to help him, and Sunny admits he doesn't know who to trust anymore. Dante asks if this was an inside job. Sunny fills Dante in on what happened. Dante says they need to question everyone close to him, no matter how much it hurts, and everyone is guilty until proven otherwise. Gregory drops by Alex's office to tell her that he'll be gone for a few hours to meet with Tracy. He sees Alexis is not herself, and she tells him that her nephew Spencer is dead. Alexis says if Esme had just left town as originally planned, Spencer would still be alive. She blames herself for giving Esme a job and a reason to stay. At a photoshoot setup, Lucy asks an assistant if Martin has called, but she says he hasn't. She decides to call him when Scott shows up. Lucy hopes Scott is bringing good news about Tracy. Scott admits he hasn't talked to her, so Lucy tells him to call her. Scott calls Tracy, but she ignores him. Lucy thinks Tracy is avoiding him after abandoning her the other day to comfort her. Scott asks if Martin is worth this, and Lucy says he is and they will work things out. Scott just wants her to be happy and gets a little close, so Lucy pulls away. She says she has to go find Marty. At the Metro Court, Tracy spots Martin looking annoyed at the bar. She checks on him, but he doesn't have the patience to entertain her stories about Lucy and Scott without proof. Tracy tells him the other day when he and Lucy had their fight, Scott bolted to comfort Lucy, leaving her high and dry. She asks if they broke up, but Martin says they didn't. She warns him that Lucy and Scott just can't stay away from one another. Later, Lucy finds Martin alone at the bar, but he says he still needs space. Lucy cries it's hard to apologize if he won't answer her calls. He notes there isn't much to say, but Lucy says what she said was a slip of the tongue and she loves him, past, present, and future. She begs him for another chance. Martin looks over at Tracy, who is sitting at a table. Lucy admits that she has been distracted by Tracy. Martin says this is about her moving away from him and leaning on Scott after Bobby died. Lucy explains that she, Scott, and Bobby have a complicated history. Martin says for whatever reason, when she requires solace, she turns to Scott, and that has to say something about them. She admits Bobby's death changed her, even though they never really liked one another. Martin notes she was still important to her, and they got to know each other at their worst, and that forms a bond. He knows when that bond is broken, you look at your life and realize time is precious and life is short, and you realize you need to let go of what's not working. She asks if he means they aren't working. Martin tells Lucy that whatever this thing is with Scott, it eclipses what they have. Martin says he loves her more than any of his previous wives and women. However, he doesn't want to always wonder what is going on and be looking over his shoulder, so goodbye. Lucy cries, goodbye, and runs out in tears. Gregory arrives to join Tracy and apologizes for being late. He sees she's watching Martin and Lucy and assumes they are discussing what held him up. Tracy asks what that would be. Gregory reveals Martin's great-nephew Spencer was killed in Paris, along with Esme Prince. Tracy asks how Alexis is. He says grieving and blaming herself for taking a chance on Esme. Gregory believes Esme was trying to be a better person, and he mourns the person she could have been. Gregory gets a call from his doctor and has been referred to a specialist who wants to meet. He's sorry about Spencer and leaves. Tracy sees Martin sitting alone and approaches him. He asks to be left alone, but Tracy says this won't take long and she owes him the truth. Lucy returns to the deception offices in tears, and Scott asks what happened. She says Martin broke up with her and says he deserves better. Scott holds Lucy as she cries. Lucy doesn't know why she keeps screwing relationships up, but Scott thinks she's being hard on herself. He says Martin is too stupid to know how great she is, so to hell with him. He says she's Lucy Co., the best there is, and pulls her into a kiss.